Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to Sam and Max Hit the Books. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we're here to review the comics that came out on the 31st of July in 2019.
Yep.
We're going to start right off here with the 7th and final issue of The Batman Who Laughs by Scott Snyder and illustrated by Jock.
Yes, Jock, once again.
This issue felt a lot like this was originally a 6-issue series that was extended to 7, as we know it was. Because
here we go.
once the main action is done, about halfway through the issue, there's a lot of talking.
There's a lot of talking.
There's a lot of talking going on. There's a lot of talking between the characters going on. It's all very self-indulgent. And honestly, it was one of the more interesting issues of this series because stuff is finally actually happening.
Right, exactly.
But at the same time, also, it forces a cliffhanger in a way. So basically, this is the end of the story. Batman is basically 99.99% taken over by the Batman Who Laughs virus, but
Yes.
he's still holding on to that last bit of Batman, which is allowing him to fight back against this guy.
Right, and really kick his ass for a little while in this one, too. Like, Batman Who Laughs seems like he's suddenly very afraid he's not gonna win.
It's funny because up until this point, he's been so, omnipotent about everything.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, he isn't.
It's just like, oh shit, did I make a mistake? Oh god, I'm gonna lose.
I mean, Grim Knight goes down a little bit too easily, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, that's a classic. You're on my side now. Oh, actually, I'm not.
Yeah, like James Gordon's motivation, I guess he was just playing the angle the whole time so that he'd get an angle to stab Grim Knight, I guess.
You wouldn't expect Grim Knight to fall for something like that.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just, it is interesting that Grim Knight would fall for that. But it is nice to see Batman get such a nice win over Batman Who Laughs. Like, when all of the harpoons go into him, it is kind of like, oh, all right now.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's good. It's nice to see him be taken down.
You figured out a way, Snyder. You set up an unkillable villain, and then you found a way to make it not too unrealistic to get him defeated.
Yeah, and the Joker.
And that is great, that at the very end, after defeating the Batman Who Laughs, Batman is now too far gone. He expelled the last bit of his strength to finish off Batman Who Laughs, but now he's fully transformed. He's going to go for it, but, I mean, he's been there from the beginning. He hasn't been in the last few issues, but you knew he was going to have to show up again. Old Jack Napier, Joker himself, he shows up because he knew that after Batman solved this problem, only one person could solve the Batman problem, and that was him.
Yeah, exactly.
That part I liked.
And then also the Joker toxin that he dosed Batman with may or may not have been a slow-acting version that the Joker worked on himself. Like, he worked on himself to make it affect Batman a little bit slower,
right,
which is why he's been able to hold on.
Yeah, he took some sort of retardant that slowed down his system.
Right, and that's why he was able to run around with an open chest wound.
But that's just what Batman thinks.
Right.
Because then Alfred reveals we ran tests on it, and it doesn't look like Joker did that. He just would want you to think that he did that.
Right. It's still very, maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Right, it's all very clever, and then it all turns out to be set up for the upcoming Batman-Superman series because, I guess Gordon did drink a little bit of the water while he was in that reservoir, and he's Batman Who Laughed Up.
Yep. The only one.
And that's a pretty solid cliffhanger. Overall, I may have complained about the length of the series, but it wasn't terrible.
No. I'd say it tied up well overall.
Yeah, it was nice as sort of the most direct sequel to Metal. If Metal is considered the big Justice League adventure, but then also the Batman Who Laughs thing. We've been seeing the sequel in Justice League and all the stuff to all that stuff, but we finally get the actual Batman Who Laughs sequel. Right. And there appears to be no end in sight for
Batman versus
Batman Who Laughs and his schemes.
Yeah.
It is interesting that both in Metal and in this, in Metal, Batman and Joker teamed up to fight Batman Who Laughs, and that's the reason they were able to take him down. In this one, Batman did technically get him himself, but Joker did heavy assist and definitely, quote-unquote, saves the day at the end with the saving of Bruce. It's interesting if they'll figure out a way for Batman to beat Batman Who Laughs without involving Joker whatsoever.
I don't know if they should do that, though.
No? So I am going to give this issue of The Batman Who Laughs a 7.
Yeah, I'd also give it a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And moving on, we're going to be talking about issue 12 of Fantastic Four, Dan Slott, Sean Izaakse.
Yeah, Izaakse? I have no idea. Isaacs?
Maybe. And, so this was Ben Grimm getting to his honeymoon, for which the Fantastic Four, they take his communicators and make sure that he can't contact them in any way.
And this is timed to coincide with his annual 1 day as a human.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and so that's sweet of them, I guess, kind of, except for the fact that the Hulk shows up.
Yeah, and the cover says it's the Immortal Hulk showing up.
It doesn't seem like the Immortal Hulk.
It isn't. I mean, it's him, but he's just being straight mind controlled by
right.
What's his name?
Puppet Master.
Puppet Master, yeah.
Yep.
So that's a little disappointing, but I do wonder if when the Puppet Master's control is removed, if he'll give an Immortal Hulk speech and then leave.
Yeah, that would be cool. Mm-hmm. But it kind of does change the stakes. Because, Hulk's just going to keep coming.
Right.
And, he's got no way of contacting his friends whatsoever, and he's about to be turned into a human.
Right, classic ticking clock.
Right.
About an hour until he turns into a human.
Yeah, so it's not looking good. But that's really all that's in the issue.
Yeah.
It moves a little bit slowly.
Yeah, I didn't love this so much. It was kind of
Yeah.
Like, this felt like it... I'm going to sound like I'm beating a dead horse with this. This should have all just been one issue of story, maybe. I don't know how long they're planning on extending this story.
Right.
But,
But, you see Thing and Hulk on the cover, you're expecting Thing and Hulk to fight and then it to be resolved.
Right, not just for Hulk to punch Thing several times and then the ticking clock to be established.
To be continued. Nah, I'm not so thrilled with the to be continued for a Hulk Thing fight. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing that needs to be extended.
Unless the entire next issue is just Hulk Thing fight.
That's true. That could be good.
Yeah, that could be good.
We will see. Anyway, I give this a 5.
I'm going to also give it a 5. Pretty average. Nothing really to hate about it. The art was fine. The story was fine.
Right.
It just wasn't awesome.
Right. It could be a Fantastic Four from any era.
That's true.
Yeah.
Moving on to Green Lantern Annual #1 by Grant Morrison. And who's the artist on this? I forgot to look up his page. Cameron Coley or something along those lines. Anyway, he's not great. This issue, I think it does suffer a little bit. Giuseppe Cameron Coley with Trevor Scott finishes.
Right.
Liam Sharp has been doing such a good job on the main Green Lantern book, and this art seemed somewhat rushed, and in my opinion made the story a little bit tough to follow.
Yeah, a little bit. The story was a little bit tough to follow in this one.
I had to read it twice before I got a handle on everything.
Okay.
With the one hanging point for me being the girl cousin talking about how she went on adventures with Hal Jordan's ghost.
Right. Which is surprised he's not a ghost anymore.
Right. And that's either going to be something we're going to see in a future Green Lantern, or it's just a reference to, I guess, I saw online that she had gone on an adventure with Hal when he was the Spectre. Hal used to be the Spectre for a little while.
Interesting.
In case you didn't know.
I did not know.
But this is mostly about the return of the radio entity aliens from Quiz. I think the name of the planet is Quiz. We've got this Sonic the Hedgehog-looking electricity alien,
right?
Who you think it's an ET situation where we need to protect this innocent alien on the run, but it's a reversal. He's the bad one. He's there because Hal Jordan's nephew, Airwave, whose name is also Hal Jordan, his power is radio waves, and it's fine. It's fine. It took me 2 reads to understand it, though, so it gets a big knock for that. The ending's a little bit unclear.
Right. Punches the guy.
You never even actually get a look at the face of, I guess you kind of do, of the evil uncle of the Jordan family.
Yeah.
Basically, it seems like if you knew a bunch about Hal Jordan's family tree from earlier comics, maybe you could have gotten a lot more out of this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But as far as like an issue of the run of Morrison's Green Lantern, this is the absolute low point for me.
Right, yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, well, nothing more to say, really.
I'm going to give it a 6, just based on, there's a few clever things in there.
Yeah, there's a few clever things. I'm going to give this one a 5, though.
Alright, fair enough.
I didn't read it twice, so.
True. Yeah, I think I would have only given it a 5 or a 4 had I only read it the one time, for sure, and that is probably a flaw.
Yeah, probably. But next we're going to be talking about the newest, very large issue of Batman, Last Night on Earth.
Yeah.
This is book 2.
Yeah, 60 pages, so that's 3 comics.
Yeah, 60 pages long. Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo on this one. And I do really enjoy the art in this one.
Yeah.
Capullo is doing a real bang-up job.
He's killing it.
The story is also very interesting.
There's a lot of... It reminds me in a way of Old Man Logan, where we had Wolverine traveling across post-apocalyptic United States and running into, like, the remains of everything, because everything's gone to shit. And, like, with the Flash tornado specifically being such a, like... What the hell is happening here?
Right. All flashes in a tornado in the Speed Force. They're like, Batman, save us.
What happened there?
Ooh, probably lots of flashes all at once trying to change the past.
Now, the very beginning of this issue seems to take place not... Like, this is back in the regular continuity, right? Just like the first few pages of the first issue.
Maybe.
With Batman talking about the kid in the alley. That is how that issue began.
Yeah,
so
that's how that started.
Yeah, there's something weird going on here as far as that goes.
Yeah, and we got like Bane and Scarecrow and this crazy Batman.
Yeah, Omega. Now, where is this Gotham City? Is this where Batman left from? Or is this a place he's heading to? This is my one major complaint with this book, is the geography of the world. Because Batman was in Gotham, supposedly, and was there like the whole Gotham thing underground that Batman busted out of midway through the first issue? Right. Or was it just the asylum that Alfred was keeping him in, and that was located underground, and now Alfred has traveled to a separate location where Gotham City is? I think that's what has happened.
I would agree that I think that is what's happened.
How did Alfred get there so fast, though?
Right, how did Alfred get there so fast? Maybe Batman went the wrong way until he met up with the Joker.
Nah, he met up with Joker the second he busted out the sand trap, yeah. Although Joker, if he's paying attention to anything Joker's saying as far as directions, that could definitely be a reason why things are going crazy. Although he wanted to get to the Fortress of Solitude, so...
Joker took him straight there.
So are we to believe that Batman he's been walking most of this time, right?
Yeah.
He walked to Antarctica?
Seems so, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But we have no other explanation, so
right.
Yes. Maybe he picked up a horse at some point. But then we got Luthor.
Yeah, crazy old Luthor.
And this is a sharp turn from what Luthor has been lately in DC Comics.
Which is funny, because it's all Snyder writing all these books.
Right. But this is regretful. Luthor tells this great story about him challenging Superman to one debate, and then the people would be able to decide by thinking either doom or justice at the same time, and then spikes of kryptonite will come out of the ground and skewer one of them.
But Luthor believes a couple of things. He believes A, that he will lose the debate, as he always does.
Right.
And B, that Superman will know that in time that Luthor has lost and will use his super speed to save Luthor from dying, thereby having both of them survive his death trap, and they can live to fight another day, like this is just any other Lex Luthor scheme.
Right, or he saves Luthor and skewers himself, sacrificing himself as a hero and making himself into a martyr, thus beating Luthor once and for all.
Oh, is that in the... Does he mention something like that too?
No, that's just what I assumed he meant when he talked about Superman jumping and saving him. That his idea was for Superman to get skewered on his own.
Interesting. Well, either way, Superman die.
Superman die. And yeah, Luthor, now he's filled with tons of regret because the world totally went to crap after that. The people rose up against him and all the superheroes and the villains.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like you get the sort of story with Joker, like Batman goes away, or if Joker were to succeed in killing Batman, it would totally break him and like the game would be over and he would either just kill himself or become Batman or something.
Right.
So it's interesting to see a Luthor post-Superman story.
Right.
Poor Luthor.
All he wants to do now is get Superman back. It feels like if he got Superman back, it would fix everything. Probably won't, though. And then you got, Wonder Woman coming in with her mohawk. Pretty
Right.
cool.
Right, because who drives the Superman robots insane?
Oh, yeah, who is that?
Do we know? It's Bane and Scarecrow do it.
Right, that's what they do.
Right, Bane and Scarecrow, who've both been, like, reduced to their most, like, essential components. Scarecrow's basically just, like, a spider torso with giant fingers that he walks on that all end in the needles of fear gas.
Yep.
And he's like, we've been made into our perfect form. And Bane appears to be just like a pure...
Muscle monster.
Pure muscle. Like, he's almost like Bane in Batman and Robin in the movie. Like, where he just sits there and is like, I'm the muscle if you need me, but otherwise I just stand still.
Right.
And say nothing. Because obviously Omega couldn't have Bane doing anything. So you need to have Bane lobotomized in some way if he's going to be around.
Right.
Who is Omega going to be?
I have no idea who Omega's gonna be. Who do you think he's gonna be?
Another Batman clone made by the Machine?
He seems a lot like a Batman clone.
Original Bruce Wayne didn't actually die?
Oh, that's interesting.
It seems too obvious to have it be Red Hood. We know it's not Nightwing.
Yeah, we know it's not Nightwing because he shows up in this.
Damian also seems a little too obvious.
I mean, it has been several years, though, so Damian would be a little more grown up.
I mean, of all the Robins, it's more likely it's Damian. Oh, you know what? Who's going to fucking be? It's going to be Signal. He hasn't shown up in a long time, and he's the Scott Snyder thing.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm putting it down right here. It's Signal. It's lame.
Signal.
It's going to be awful.
Yeah, I do like Batman and Wonder Woman walking around on the cloak of the Spectre, and Batman being like, this ground feels funny.
That's another big, that's like a Old Man Logan thing to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They travel inside it to get to the River Styx, also cool.
Right, because the Spectre was the avatar of vengeance, and so he would have a connection.
Right. And Joker, when they're on the River Styx, is hilarious, because he's just like, I'm not listening, because he can hear all the people he's killed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and we didn't mention how in this issue Joker tells a legitimately hilarious joke.
He does tell a really good joke.
Let's not spoil it.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Like, it's always good when the Joker tells a funny joke or the Riddler tells a good riddle.
Right.
You know?
And it's a classic format joke. Guy walks into a doctor's office.
Right. Very, very good. So what would you give this issue?
I'd give it a 7. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 7 too. I'm liking it a lot. The issues don't feel as long to read as, you don't feel like you're trying to get to the end of all the 60 pages.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. There's a lot going on. It changes frequently.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to the Venom Annual by Ryan Cady and Simone DeMeo. This is one of the worst issues of any comic Venom has ever appeared in, man, visually and writing-wise.
Batman's been in some stinkers, but I know what you mean.
And, yeah, man, it's bad.
Right.
It's all about
The
putting
art.
up this character, this Lady Hellbender, whose character and, character setup don't match being named Lady Hellbender.
That's true.
She's some sort of, intergalactic zookeeper. Big game hunter, I guess. And Venom's gonna... It's sort of this weird, rejected Exo Manowar thing to me.
Interesting.
The issue tries to do this weird, Eddie's actually the interesting one. Venom's just a dumb beast.
That is what it's doing. And the way Venom looks throughout this whole issue, I do take a lot issue with that, with him just being this tooth monster thing.
Yeah, the way the eyes are done, and the way that the mouth goes back.
Yeah,
it's
and the way that tongue, it sweeps around and, has ridges on it and stuff.
It's too much. It's too much redesign.
Yeah, all at once.
And the cover tries to warn you, because the cover is the worst piece of art attached to the book.
When I first saw it, I thought the Venom symbiote was being ripped off a lady.
Yeah, the pose that this person is in, the little mouth with the tongue. This is bad. This is bad. This is one of the...
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
This made me mad in a way that comics haven't made me mad in a while. This is a 1.
Yeah, I'd give it a 1 too,
There's
because
nothing.
the art and the story are not what we've come to expect, especially lately from our Venom comics.
From any comic.
And yeah, we do take issue with Venom being done in a way that we don't like.
What a waste of an annual.
That was an annual?
Yeah. Well, luckily it was only an annual.
Well, that's true. We won't be getting we got a new character to worry about, but whatever.
Yeah.
We're going to move on from that.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about issue 1 of Death's Head by Tony Howard. Teeny Howard. Oh, yeah. My bad. Sorry, Teeny. Teeny Howard. And Kai Zama.
Yep. The art's great in this issue.
The art is great, and it really fits the whole metal thing that's going on.
Yeah.
It's very pop metal in the way that it's colored and drawn.
Yeah. Lots of bright primary colors and neons, and Death's Head is very robot-y looking.
Yeah, and he's doing cool stuff. Yondu makes an appearance. We get some other characters that I'm not too familiar with. These two roommate guys. One of them's like a lizard man, and the other's like some kind of fantasy hero.
All right, so Wiccan is, I believe, somehow Scarlet Witch's child in some way.
Oh, interesting. I think. Okay, yeah.
And
got the outfit for it.
Hulkling is actually a Skrull. But
he's half Skrull,
half Kree. But he didn't know it. So that's why I guess he took like a Hulk-related nickname.
Because he's green.
But he does do like shape-shifting, I think. I don't think he's just like a green, muscly guy. I believe that he can fully like do Skrull-style shape things. I believe. But yeah, they were semi-major characters in like the Young Avengers a few years ago. So that's who they are.
Right. And somehow they get Death's Head.
Right.
And then Death's Head comes in.
Death's Head fell to Earth, and this is how because the story was a little confusing.
It is a little confusing.
Death's Head got into a skirmish with Yondu over not being a paid bounty hunter for him anymore, and got knocked into the regular... I mean, I guess he was already in the regular Marvel Universe. He got knocked to Earth, and he was deactivated, and he was found, and Wiccan and Hulkling rigged him up as an amp for this band.
Right, that's what it was.
And now that he's woken up from being an amp, he is going after them for doing that to him.
Yep.
But they have another Death's Head.
They have another Death's Head hidden under their bed.
Which the implications are a little creepy, but we'll see what happens.
Right,
there
might be some weird time shenanigans going on. I found it to be fairly entertaining.
Would you be surprised to know that Death's Head is a Transformers character originally?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, he originally started in the Marvel UK Transformers comics as an intergalactic bounty hunter, and he was like Transformer-sized.
Wow.
And then like he got transferred into the regular Marvel universe and like shrunk to a smaller body, and then when like the Transformers rights shifted around, like Marvel got to keep Death's Head, but none of the other and then Transformers I guess couldn't use Death's Head, but so that's why here he is.
Huh.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, that is bonkers.
What would you give it?
I'd give it a 6.
I think that's right. I think, interested enough to get the next issue to see where this goes. The art is very good.
Yeah.
And I wasn't too annoyed by the story. It was a little weird and, like, jokey. I mean, I guess he's supposed to be sort of a comedy character.
It seemed like it.
It's a little off so far, but it could get there. We'll try the next issue.
Cool.
Alright, so next up, we're going to be talking about the first issue of Powers of 10 by John Hickman. Yeah, no kidding. And Silva, I don't know, why didn't I get anybody's name before we started to record? RB Silva, I believe. Anyway, this issue really kind of expanded on the scope in a big way as far as the stuff that we were introduced to in House of X.
Right.
Because we get a story that kind of takes place across 4 timelines, like pre-X-Men, current X-Men, 10 years in the future and 100 years in the future? Or is it 100 years in the future and like 1,000 years in the future? I think that's what it is.
It does both, I think.
Yeah, year 100 and then year 1,000.
Yep, and you're right. RB Silva.
Right. Yes. Right, so yeah, year 1, the dream. So that's like right before the X-Men are created. Year 10 is where we are now.
Yep, definitely.
And, the stuff that happens in year 0 is mostly just mystery setup of what's up with Moira Taggart going to meet Professor X back in the day.
Yes.
The year 10 stuff is mostly, surprisingly, just a continuation of the story in House of X.
Right.
Just a little more context for, basically confirming that the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, quote-unquote, strike team that was sent out last issue was 100% sent by Krakoa and Professor X and Magneto and all them.
Yep.
Which is what makes it extra funny about Cyclops being like, you want them, you take them. So we'll see what's on that drive. And then we get the future sequences, which are very interesting. The year 100 is like the total Days of Future Past. Like, the man-machine ascendancy is on the rise, and mutants are like a total endangered species, at least on Earth. I guess there's more mutants out in other parts of the galaxy, like by the Shi'ar Empire.
Right. There's a few out there.
Right. We get all this history about the way that Mr. Sinister's mutant cloning program went, and all these different kinds of combo mutants they were making. And we've got this girl who's like a Colossus, Ileana Rasputin, various other people, a mutant. Basically, all these new ones are like a combo mutants.
Right, but with a chance of failure in some of them, and as they add more combos in, the chances of failure get higher exponentially.
Right. And Nimrod is the villain, right? Nimrod is the leader of the Man-Machine Ascendancy, which is very interesting when we get to the year 1000 sections, when Nimrod is like a totally nice dude who's chilling with the mutants there and sharing his data from the mutant library he constructed by sacrificing tons of mutants during the previous timeline.
Right. Now there's really not very many.
Yeah. Well, and now there's tons of mutants. No, there's almost no humans by the time we get to 1,000 years in the future. It's an interesting reversal. Now the only humans left are the ones that live in a savage land preserve as zoo animals, just to remind mutants never to let mankind rise again. Lots of stuff set up, not a ton of stuff resolved yet, but they're really expanding the scope of what the series is going to be.
Oh yeah.
I still have no idea where we're going with this, and I love it. I'm giving it an 8.
I'm giving it a 7.
I'm giving it a 9.
Alright.
I liked it a lot.
I also liked it, but I'm only giving it a 7 still.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely worth continuing with all of that.
Alright, so before you start the next one, we should mention that for some reason, unknown to anyone, and I did the research online, the 5th issue of this comic is coming out this month, the month after the 3rd issue came out, and the 4th issue will be coming out next month. This is correct according to Diamond's website. There's nothing anybody can do about it. And Sam?
Yeah, the comic is The Goon, issue 5. We're getting that one first. And that's okay. Goon, of course, is by Eric Powell, Thomas Snigoski, and Brett Parson. And this is a alright issue. It's definitely continuing with the Goonie antics we've been getting in the past with Goon's buddy, him getting captured, Frankie, by this crazy cult that turns you into a puking zombie, and
used by whacking you in the face with some sort of haunted mackerel.
Right, the haunted mackerel. They whack you in the face, you turn into a puking zombie, and then they collect the puke and sell it as a beverage. That
turns you into another... Oh, no, that's what turns you into the zombie. Smacking you with the mackerel just makes you sick, right?
Well, it seems like it turns you into a zombie.
Oh, right, because Frankie is a zombie by the end, too.
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's unclear what the exact relationship is between the mackerel smack and the drinking of the vomit. Maybe that's just a way to get a lot of people quickly.
Right, maybe. Or maybe the ones that get smacked by the mackerel are the only ones that produce the stuff, but if you drink the stuff, you become a zombie, a thirst zombie that needs to drink the stuff.
But you wouldn't be doing any vomiting.
Right, but you're not doing the vomiting.
Okay,
that's
I can
only for the
that.
mackerel smack ones.
This is a fun book. This is what we're trying to say.
Oh, yeah. And
I think this issue...
what's going on, it is rather easy to keep up with everything that's going on.
This issue had me chuckling a good 4 or 5 times. There was a lot of funny stuff happening here. The orphan characters are really funny. when they're like standing on each other's shoulders in a trench coat to buy beer, as we love.
One of them pees.
When the Reverend smacks Frankie with the Bible.
Right, and that turns him back to normal. It's just a quick exorcism.
Smack! The show Frankie wanted to go to, which is actually just Frankie going over to the old woman's house to wax her back fat.
Yeah. Oh, Frankie. Poor child. Yeah, and then the Goon coming in and putting a stop to it, of course. And all those thirsty mutants, they're real easy to turn to dust with a single clobber. They're dry as hell.
Yeah, that one got me too.
And next issue we're going to be,
see, that's the one thing.
7, we're going to be getting...
Issue 6.
Issue 6, yeah, that's what I mean. Issue 6, we're going to be getting the Goon versus Monkey Mob Boss.
Now, it's funny, because that's the one thing where the coming out of order did kind of affect it, because this name did get dropped a few times earlier in the issue, and we didn't recognize it.
Right.
Which I assume is because it comes up for the first time in the previous issue.
Agreed.
And the name of this Monkey Mob Boss. And, so, I mean, obviously, who cares? These are definitely done in one stories. But yeah, it's funny that this is like the one time there's even a little tiny smidgen of continuity is the time when they release an issue out of order.
Yeah, maybe that's why. They're like, oh, crap, we got some continuity in there. Just release them backwards.
Oh, that would be hilarious. That would be so hilarious. What would you give it?
I'd give this one an 8.
An 8? All right,
yeah.
I'm giving this one a 7.
All right.
All right, and that is going to do it for our reviews this week. Man, we talked for a while. Thanks for listening if you made it this far, everybody. And like and subscribe. We will be back with even more comic reviews in the very near future.
Yes, we will.